Oh, Spencer here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we have got the DC Multiverse from the Aquaman movie, the Trench Warrior Collect and Connect, Mera. Okay, so what do we think of this character? Honestly, I really liked her in the movie. I think I preferred her costume from the Justice League movie, but all in all, I really did like her character, and I do like this costume design. This costume design, I just think I prefer the other one. I haven't quite decided. I'm not really sold on either or as of yet. But yeah, no, I thought she really brought some great comedy and some great aspects, and just really was a great character in the film. But let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy her in the movie, or do you think she was just irritating, or what did you guys think? Now, let's have a quick look at this packaging, and then we'll get this figure out and see how good she really is. So on the packaging, you can see you have at the bottom the DC Multiverse logo, a tiny little metal logo there, and then at the top of the packaging you see the Aquaman movie. At the very top of the packaging you see the Collect and Connect Trench Warrior, the character's name Mera, and of course some artwork of the actual character, which looks like it's just be a photo from the movie. On the very top of the packaging you can also see the DC logo, which has this nice kind of... It feels, yeah, it is textured, this whole logo. I never actually mentioned it so far. Didn't actually realise, but this is actually textured, so it's very, very cool. On the side of the packaging, you have the exact same logo. Same on the other side of the packaging. On the bottom of the packaging, you have some obligatory legal jargon. And then on the back of the packaging, you can see the rest of the figures in the wave and the Collect and Connect Trench Warrior. So there's a quick zoom in for those that would like to read the bio. I have been doing some digital zooms, so from now on I'm going to try to remember to do physical zooms, because I've noticed sometimes the writing has been a little bit unclear, so I apologise for that in the past. But from here on I'm going to try to remember to do physical ones. Okay, so let's get this character out of packaging and see how good she really is. Just want to point this out, be careful when you're taking these accessories out, because, I don't know if you can see this, I'm going to zoom in. It's actually being stopped and held in by the peg. So if you just rip this out quickly, so it's kind of wedged in from here and here by the peg. Same on that one, you're going to just snap that peg right off. So be extra careful when you take these out of the packaging. Okay, so here we have Mera out of the packaging. Overall, what are our thoughts? Do we like this figure? Yeah, she's actually pretty cool. I'm still not sold on the costume design. I still think I prefer the intricate design details of the Justice League movie one, but I think that's kind of the same for me for the Aquaman figure as well. But again, we haven't reviewed that guy yet, so once I see it in the hand, I might be like, God, this is amazing! Mine has a bit of trouble with her hips, so I've actually just had to heat them up just to get them forward. They now might be stuck like this, so I might have to heat them up every time I want to move them, or I might have to pop this figure open to actually solve that. Bit frustrating, but I'm generally terrified of snapping the peg that goes across. Let's have a quick close-up look at our accessories, and then we'll go over a close-up of the actual figure. Okay, so the first accessory we're going to look at is her spear. I don't actually recall her using this in the film. Really trying to think, I don't recall her using the spear at all in the film. Unless this is supposed to be like a water spear, but it does have like this little barb at the end, so that doesn't really make sense. All in all, it's quite nice. There is some obligatory legal writing on there. Just there. I'm really trouble focusing this, aren't I? 1 second. Let me get his little... There you go. So there's the legal writing. This end I see there's like a little barb there, and there's a little hook there, which also looks like it's got a barb on it. And on this end you just have like a kind of a fat spearhead, but overall some nice sculpt on it. And it's not bad. It is a bit of very soft plastic, so it's very bendy, but it does fit in her hands quite nicely. Both hands are gripping hands, so you can get to hold that, and that's actually quite snug in there. Well, speaking of hands, she comes with 2 gripping hands. These ones are actually on the figure, and they're very nice. So you see some nice paint and some nice deco, and there is actually some sculpt there in the straps going around, so that's really, really nice. Then the other hands are the water effect hands. Now honestly, I think the sculpt could have been better on here, because this literally looks like very sloppy paintwork for fingers on there, so I'm not a fan of that. The costume is really good sculpt, it looks just as good as the other hands, but the water effects do look phenomenal. They are very, very nice. Nice like translucent blue, so you can see my hand go through that. and obviously you can see they kind of do a fade to a white when it comes to end. Both unique, and as I thought, they are the exact same ones from the previous figure. That's really strange. So the water effect's identical and the hand position's identical, but there is a difference in the sculpt for the actual costume on the hand. So there is a clear sculpted line here, whereas on this one, if I can focus, focus. There you go. There's a clear sculpted line just here. So they have resculpted these, but fractionally. Very strange. And here you can see the other ones. Get them around the right way. See, also exactly the same. Now obviously this one has a more clearer, this one's a more bluer. I think I prefer the clearer one. Although when she did use the water effects, even underwater, it did have more of a bluey tint, I think, to kind of stand out a bit better. So I guess this one is actually more movie accurate. But if you ever do lose one and you don't really care and you can potentially still use these on the same figure, because the pegs are exactly the same. To swap the hands out, you simply just grab the hand, hold the forearm and give it a good firm tug straight away, and it will just come straight out. It is quite firmly in this, you do have to put a bit of strength behind it. Then just make sure you find the right hand, and that will just peg in nice and simple. These come out a lot easier, I find, because I think you can grab hold of them a bit better. My left hand is quite hard and it took quite a bit of force to get this out. I was actually worried about snapping the peg, but it did come out, so just be mindful of that. If you are concerned, my advice would be heat it up first, then pug it out. It's much better taking that extra second to heat it up than it is to try and force it and break it. The only accessories she comes with are the two trench arms, so both the left and the right trench arms, and we will go over these in more detail when we review the build of figure. So having a close-up look at the actual figure, you can see that the hair is really nicely sculpted and it has a little bit of brown in it just to break the red up a little bit. The costume is absolutely phenomenal. It really pops. I know it's coming over quite blue on this camera, but it is more of an aqua green in the figure. I'm just going to try a different filter, 1 second. Okay, so that is actually showing the colour a little bit better now. Ironically, it's now showing my background, which I can't point, as grey when it is a blue. So I don't get it. I don't understand cameras that well. But yeah, the costume does look really phenomenal. And you can see there's little tiny dots they've painted in there just to kind of make the sculpt pop a little bit. Really, really nice. Now that is actually quite accurate to the movie, because they did have the design like that where some of the scales or some of the honeycomb were actually coloured differently. I don't know if I'm a fan of like the honeycomb effect on these. I kind of prefer the scaling effect, much like Ocean Master has. But it does still look really, really cool. Now the face sculpt itself, I'm not sold on it. I think it looks like her. I'm trying to think what she looks like. But see, mine's got a little tiny mark on the nose. If I can get that off quickly. No. She's got a tiny red bit just on the nose there. It's a bit frustrating. But the eyes are very cleanly painted. The lips really cleanly painted. No other real paint on the actual sculpt. And the skin tone on the neck, it does look good on camera, but I can see to the naked eye it does look a little different. Marginally, I'm happy with it. The crown or tiara piece, also quite cleanly painted. Slight blemish on the back of the crown where they've just not painted it. But all in all, really, really nice. Now the hair is a soft rubber, so it shouldn't hinder articulation too much, but we will look at that later. But on the back of the character, you can see that sculpt again. Unfortunately, no paint on the back though. This character's torso only actually has minimal paint. You have the gold on the gauntlets, the paint on the hands, the dots, and then the logo. That is it. Oh, and the flesh there. That is it. There's nothing else. Again, the paint on the gauntlets for me are a little bit sloppy. I'm not overly happy with that. See, it should be coming to here and down to here. It's just missed almost all completely. That's a bit frustrating. This side's a little bit bad, but still not great. And then the sculpt on the actual boots is really, really nice. Just popping those little kind of, I don't know what you call these bits, because it's one piece, so they're not like boots per se. So I don't know, it's interesting. And then of course you've got the feet there. So there's 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Here we have a side comparison with her previous counterpart, with her previous version from the Justice League movie. This is the one that I'm saying I generally do think I prefer this costume, because I just really do like the intricate designs of it, the details, and how much more it kind of pops to me. What I'd probably most likely do is, I've just had a thought, is I might keep this as my Mera figure, and I might convert this into Aquaman's mum, whose name is escaping me. Yep, cannot think what her name is. But she also wore something identical to this pretty much, but in white. So that would be quite an easy custom job to do. I don't know, we'll see. I don't think I'm allowed to, because Hazel has expressed interest in one of these. I think whichever one I'd want as my Mera, I have to give the other one to Hazel. So that's a bit, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. But I don't mind that, you know. She has helped me get these, so generally do not mind giving one away. Also going to be giving her one of my Aquaman as well. Again, exact same, whichever one I prefer. But you tell me, which one of these designs do you prefer? Which one do you think looks nicer? Which one do you think looks more, well, like, you know, armour? Because that's what this is supposed to be, is it not? It's supposed to be Aquaman. Atlantean armour, no? I don't know. Every day? Special day. But you can see the face sculpts are also very clearly different. Okay, so let's go over articulation. The head is on a ball peg, so you really don't get much movement in the forward or back here, which is very frustrating, and absolute zero pivot. And you can rotate it around 360 degrees, just have to work with that hair a bit, but it's not too bad, and then like I said earlier, it doesn't really get in the way. Shoulders are on ball discs, so they can go out that far and around 360. Again, just need to work with the hair a bit. Bicep rotation, nice job, Mattel. Single bend elbow. Now, weirdly, this one's not quite 90, but this one's even less. So I don't know why they do different. For me, it almost looks like this one's on the wrong way round. So like that. But then that feels like that's the wrong bicep. So I don't know, we'll see. I will take it apart and have a look, see if there's any L's or R's on it. No hinge in the wrist, but you do have full rotation, and as mentioned, that's the exact same with the other hand if you took that off. So we have an ab crunch that can go from there to there, so that's actually a pretty decent ab crunch. Quite happy with that. Waist rotation, that does look a bit ugly. 360 degrees. Tika hips, now as mentioned, mine were basically stuck. So when I was trying to bring it forward, it just was bending the peg, and I was generally worried about snapping it. It does feel like it's gotten a bit loose, but what I did is I heat up, brought them forward, I left it like that while I started with this, while she was bent over so much, and now it does appear to be clicking. But you basically have down or that. You can't really do in between because it doesn't really want to stay there. There's definitely like a ratchet there. But they can do splits of that. And that is a Spartan kick with this leg all the way forward and this leg all the way back. Single bend knee, bit frustrating, Mattel. Come on, you can do the doubles now. Start doing them on female figures as well, please. No boot rotation whatsoever. Ankle point from there to there, and it is an ankle pivot, but it kind of goes straight down. So you can rotate it, but again, you have to force because of these new designs. It doesn't really, it is feel like you are stretching stuff. But as Glenn Webb used to say, utilising both ankle rockers, this is the first pulse split she could do with both feet firmly on the ground. Very impressive. I am uncomfortable doing this though, because I do feel like I am stretching the plastic a bit, so I'm going to stop this very quickly. I just noticed on my elbow here, I don't know if I can get this over on camera, but it's almost like the shimmer has stopped. Sorry, I'm leaning on the camera. The shimmer has stopped just as this part of plastic starts. Now, you're really not seeing it, are you? This is all very shiny. This is dull, but then it kind of starts again about here. It's hard to show you because obviously the lights are shining off the plastic. But yeah, you can definitely see it to naked eye. It's very weird. Okay, size comparison. Mera stands to the top of her crown, 6 3/4 inches, which is 16.5 centimeters. Here we have her standing next to the rest of the Justice League from the Justice League movie. Of course, you have the Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman, Batman, and Cyborg. Here she's standing next to some supervillains from the DC Extended Universe. We have Ares from Wonder Woman, General Zod from Man of Steel, Joker from Suicide Squad, Black Manta and Ocean Master from the Aquaman movie, Lex Luthor from Batman vs Superman, the Nightmare Creature is my stand-in from Man-Bat, also from Batman vs Superman, Parademon, which is a base figure, not a multiverse figure, and of course Steppenwolf in the back there. Here we have a stand with some other female figures from the DC Multiverse movie line. We have Queen Hippolyta. I'm going to butcher this name, but I've got Manelope. That's what it says on Amazon. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. Princess Diana in an Amazon outfit. Wonder Woman from Batman vs Superman this time, so not Justice League. Of course, Mera. Thora Ul from Man of Steel. Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. And Catwoman from The Dark Knight Rises. Oh my god, it was an absolute pain in the backside getting all these high-heeled people standing. Having said that, it's literally just 3 of them, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. Everyone else is sensible wearing flat shoes for battle. What are you thinking? Okay, you don't think. Come on, ladies, what are you thinking? Heels for battle? Okay, final thoughts. Would I recommend this figure? Honestly, yeah. She's a solid figure. A few minor gripes of it. Bit concerned about some of the articulation designs, and not like the restriction, more to the point of like the hips. Now that I've heated up that one time and I've forced it forward, I feel a bit more comfortable. I'm a bit concerned when it cools down in here and once it gets cold again, if it's going to go back to that rigid horribleness. So that is going to always be a concern. So we'll have to be mindful of that. Also, for some reason, again, like I said, this one peg, it doesn't want to come out as easy. This one comes out not an issue, but this one is a bit more tricky. So I wonder if there's something in there potentially blocking it. I'm not too sure. But would I recommend her as a whole? Yes. All in all, solid figure, great figure, worthwhile getting. If you already have this one, you've really not getting anything new apart from a brand new costume. The articulation's identical. The accessories is identical with the exception of the spear, which, like I said, she didn't even really use in the movie. I'm pretty sure these hands have the same grip, so this figure can also hold the spear, in case you're wondering. But yeah, if you've got this one and you don't really like this costume, it's not a necessity apart from the Build-A-Figure part, but you can always get that separate from eBay or whatnot. If you didn't pick this one up, because I believe this was actually an Amazon exclusive, then yes, I would recommend this figure as she's a great representation of Mera. So, there you go guys, that is my review. I hope you did enjoy this video. It has been quite enjoyable to do this one. Really excited. I know Hazel's actually going to be super excited because we've been dying to see this figure and having to wait to open it as killing her. Let me know what you think of this character and also of the movie. I've been asking you guys throughout all these reviews, what do you guys think of the movie? I'd love to hear from you. You can let me know on Facebook or on the comments below. Let me know. Did you like the movie? Is it one that you'd recommend to friends? Is it one you'd like to watch again? Because honestly, I kind of want to go watch it again, and I might go do that today. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Like I said, I hope you did enjoy this video. Please stay tuned for the next one, which is the final part in the Collect and Connect wave, Aquaman himself. And I'm going to catch you in that video. See ya. From the DC extended universe. Oh my god. Princess Diana.